What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and I have good news and bad news. Well, it's good news or bad news depending on who you are, how you look at it, that type of thing. So the good news is that I put out a vote because 3 football games to cover was just too much to really dive in to the games and really give players who want to go to that top level the type of content that they need for guidance into that top level, right? There's just too many nuances, too many details to be the best at the game, to be able to cover all 3 and then kind of lead by example, if you will. With that being said, eFootball won the vote. However, UFL came in close second, and because there's not enough content in eFootball to cover all the time that I've had covering 3 games, I'll have time to cover UFL, who finished just behind eFootball in the vote to see which game I would be covering, right? So the thing is, the one game that I was playing the most, which, let's be honest, is the best game, FC, overall, it has the very most content. So now that that's gone, I have 2 games with developers that add crap for content, so that gives me enough time to dive into both. Now here's the bad news, depending on who you are. For one, if you're a player that plays this game and you want the truth, then it's good news for you that I'll be covering the game. It's bad news if you're one of those people in denial about how bad this game is and just don't want to listen to the truth that the game is going under. It's not going to be here much longer, so I'll be here to cover it till its demise, and then I will be saying I told you so to those people who didn't listen to me or who didn't believe me. But the fact is, this player right here is a prime example of why the game's going under. This is TKS Ironic 19. Let me know if you've played this player before, because there's so few players playing UFL. If you're watching this, you might have. So TKS Ironic 19 represents every loser that flocked over to UFL to play non-football because there are so many glitches, and he could actually maybe win without getting destroyed, which was no doubt happening to him before UFL came out and he was playing either eFootball or FC or both. Because you could just tell by the lack of skill that he has and the way that he uses every glitch in the book that he just can't play football, but he chooses to play a football game. So what does that tell you about a person who would do that, right? Now, this is the type of player that doesn't use a 5-2-1-2 to get attacking with through his wingbacks or to play any type of real football. This is a player that is so bad at defense, he doesn't touch his defenders. He is so bad at the game that he tries to rush you, steal the ball with the lag that no doubt he has a part in, considering there is 0 lag in UFL for me, typically speaking, unless I face a mysterious player like this who's always also a rat. So lag spiking, whatever you want to call it, that's the type of player TKS Ironic 19 is, and this is the type of player you come across all the time. A type of player that not only won't touch his defense, but will try to go for every single glitch, whether it's the through ball that locks up the defense, or the lobbed little short dinker pass that locks up the defense, or that perfect finesse shot that the goalkeeper doesn't save, or this type of pass right here where he literally plays it through his own player behind him and turns a totally broken glitch pass, as you see there again, into a pass he can use to get out of trouble, because again, anything to not play football and try to win. That's what these players do. But we aren't going to sit here and highlight losers like TKS Ironic 19, because this isn't why I'm covering the game. If it was for players like this, or that TKS Ironic 19, sorry, I wouldn't even be talking about this game like most content creators aren't. It is players like this right here, who I didn't catch his name. I wish I would have caught his PSN name, but players like this right here who, God knows why they still play this game, but there's still, believe it or not, some players that are trying to play actual football in this game. And for these players, especially the ones who are already part of my community and who look for my content, enjoy my content, those are the players that I don't want to leave hanging. And since there were so many votes for UFL, in the short time that I left the poll up, like I said, just behind eFootball, that is who I will be covering this game for. However, I can't be untruthful. I can't lie just because I'm covering this game for those players still playing, even though I can't stand the game. I'm still going to tell the truth because that's the only thing that will help them try to maybe either see the light and get away from this nonsense, or they can use my tactics, use what I say about all the glitches, and succeed at the game, but at least I'm not, giving them a bunch of nonsense on the way like Dagger and these other content creators that are covering this game. Love the fact that there's not much competition because that's what losers like. And so they sugarcoat it because who's going to tell someone about a game they want them to click and view and get tactics on and stuff? Why would they tell them the game's terrible? Why would they tell them I wouldn't play this game if I were you? That doesn't get them clicks and views and money. Now, I'm not about that. I don't want to grow my channel on some nonsense lies like that. That's why I'm not going to do that, right? So I can't be more honest about, these games. And the fact that players still want to play, that's on them, and I still am going to help them out. If they have fun with it, so be it. And I absolutely can, as I've shown, help them get to the top in this broken game, because this, of all the other football games, is one where you could literally list out the glitches, list out the things you need to do to succeed, and then go out and get to the top that way. As opposed to like eFootball and FC, where there's actual football skill in those games. Obviously, a ton of AI stuff that eFootball has to work out. And FC has its problems too. And every game has their rats too. But this is the only one where these glitches prevail, right? So you could literally write down, like, go to the left or right of the center circle, dribble past the half line about 10 in-game yards or so, and then play a diagonal lob through ball, and you will most likely glitch out the defense. Keep practicing that until you get to the point where every time you play that through ball, your striker goes through on goal, as you see right here, because it's a glitch through ball that locks up the defense. Do that every single game, and you're guaranteed to get a ton of chances, right? Go to the left or right of the half circle around the top of the box, and take a full-powered finesse shot with a CR7 or somebody else that has curling shot, particularly hopefully high effect or ultra effect, and keep taking that shot till you get that perfect angle where it always goes in, and keep doing that over and over. Go on a breakaway towards the right far post, either left or right, and keep shooting it until you have the shot that the goalkeeper never saves, and only go for that. Don't ever take the one that the goalkeeper saves, because it will never go in. The goalkeeper will always save it. Doesn't matter about your skill or your striker skill or the keeper skill, because it's all animation based. It's not skill based. If you play at these certain broken angles, whether it's shots or passes or whatnot, the ball will always go in. If you play that certain little dinker, that's the new glitch move. It's a real short little lob through ball, real close to your other player. And once you play it, it locks up the defense. You're able to take a touch and shoot it. It's an animation that will go in nearly every single time. So these are things you would just continuously do that will always work, because, like I said, animation based, not skill based. The glitches that break the game are what takes these no skill players to the top, which is clearly what they're going for in UFL, because that's all they do, and because it's the only game where the players that are doing these types of things are going to be at the top. Now, the other thing you notice is that all these losers have those terrible records, right? 100 and 150, 70 and 65, or you always see that type of record, whereas like mine, I think it's like 60 and 15 or 50 and 15, something like a real record, right, from a skilled player. But the reason why you see these terrible records are one of two things. One, because it's two rats going at it all the time, and you either get more glitches or you don't, but it's not skill based, so it's not consistent. If you consistently have skill and are a top player, you're going to consistently win. That's the bottom line. The other thing is, it's the same losers that were self-demoting because they can't handle the pressure of real competition, right? So the point is that this game is full of that type of player. We all know what I'm talking about when I say that type of player. So once again, I wouldn't even be looking this game's direction if it wasn't for the good people, let's say the good players that are trying to actually play football, that are in my community mainly, and that are really in this game in general, that might come across my videos. Those are the players that make me even waste my breath on this terrible game. So again, it's good news and it's bad news, depending who you are and how you look at it. But there you go. I'll be covering UFL. with regards to tactics, because a lot of people are looking for my updated tactics, that's why I played this game and tortured myself for the past few hours. So the new tactics video will be coming up. It will help you immensely, especially against these new rats that are using this new short dinker through ball glitch. And I shouldn't even say new rats. I should just say these same old rats using a new glitch. So stay tuned for that. Keep grinding, keep having fun, and just know whether you like what I say or not, I'm speaking facts. That's all there is to it. If you disagree with me, that's fine, but all I ask you to do is keep an open mind, and to what I'm saying, whether you like how I say it or not, look at the argument on the other side. If I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. Don't respond and say, you're just complaining. Don't respond and just say, why are you so negative? Actually, look at what I'm saying and go, okay, is he right or wrong? Is passing through my own player backwards because it's a broken glitch in the game, is using that, a rat move, or is it just utilizing a tool in the game? Would you call that a tool? Only playing plays that lock up the defense and don't allow an actual competition, but make for easy chances because these are things that the development company doesn't even want in the game. They're just in there because the development company isn't good enough to remove them. So you're really ruining the game by showcasing these broken things instead of actually playing football like is intended, right? It would be like if there's a blind referee, let's just make this up, and he got most things right, but he couldn't see offsides. Let's just make this up. And so you either could have a choice of having an honest competition between two teams where you call your own offsides, right? Your teammates help, coaches help, or you could have a cheating team that takes advantage of this blind referee who can call everything else but misses offsides, and now maybe you win because he missed offsides and you aren't staying true to football and you decide to cheat. But is that really winning? Does that really make it right? Because you can get by on a technicality, on something that's broken in the game, instead of being honest and playing the actual game, actually competing and trying to win at the actual sport how it's meant to be played. That's my whole point. If you don't see anything wrong with taking shortcuts with cheating and stuff like that, well then I got news for you. You are one of these losers that I'm talking about. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.